Everybody, this is an explanation of how to create a stem plot or a stem and leaf plot in Excel. And actually, this is a great opportunity to teach you how to do some other things that you will be able to, that will be really helpful as we go throughout this year. So here I have a list of ACT scores for 20 college freshmen. The ACT is kind of like the SAT, except it's scored on a different scale. You can see you have very different numbers here than you're used to seeing on an SAT. They just use different numbers, but it's designed to measure the same thing. So one thing that I think is going to be really helpful is to sort these from biggest to smallest, or smallest to biggest, actually. So to do that sort, I'm going to highlight that column, and I'm going to come over here to Sort and Filter, and I'm going to click on the arrow so it gives me some options, and I'd like to sort these from smallest to largest. So I'm going to choose that, and you can see that they are now in order from smallest to largest. The first thing we're going to do is to create the stems that the leaves are going to branch off of. So I can the stems that we're going to use is the tens place, everything except the ones place really, but these are 2-digit numbers. So I can see that the tens place numbers we have in this list are 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to create a column for the stems, and I'm going to actually underline that, and I'm going to put 1, 2, and 3. Those are our stems. And I would like that column to not be as big. I want it to just fit the data that we have in that column. So I'm going to go up here at the border between column H and column I until I get the little plus sign cursor there. And I'm just going to double click. And it shrinks that column down, much more visually appealing. Now I'm going to create the leaves. For that, I'm also going to underline the word leaves. So the leaves are the ones places and that come off of the stem. So the ones places that have a 1 in the first column will go coming out this way. 2, the same thing, and then 3 will come out that way as well. So for instance, having a 7 right there, in the column with or in the row with the stem of 1, that stands for 17. And then I'm going to create 18, another 18, another 18, and a 19. Whoops, there we go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of data that have the first digit of 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves coming off that stem. So I'm going to shrink all those columns. You can see how that works there. I think I'm actually just going to extend this. I'm going to double click. I'm going to format, make it center across selection. Boom, there we go. Now all of that stands for, there we go. Okay, so all of these are going to be leaves. So now I'm going to do the same thing with these guys. I'm going to highlight them. There we go. And so there's my 20, there's my 21, my 22, my 23, 2 24s, my 25, 2 26s, 2 27s, and a 29. And just let me shrink all these down, make it look nicer. Boom. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my 30s, my ACT scores that are in the 30s. There's my 31, my 32, and my genius who scored a 35. And here is our stem and leaf plot. You may like doing this in Excel. You may also like doing this on paper. That may actually be easiest. So you could just take this whole thing, create your stems column, and then make your leaves. I'm actually going to make my stems stand out a little bit more by bolding them, just to accentuate the difference between the stem and the leaves. So that's it. And you can tell certain things about the nature of these ACT scores just by the shape of this graph. That's a level 2 skill, bordering into a level 3 skill, so we're not going to talk about that here. But that's how you create a stem and leaf plot.